Behind the walls of the Vatican, everything's going on as usual, normal. This morning there was an invitation to meet all the cardinals and in the papal palace in a section called the Palace of Consistory for the canonization of three saints. And at the end of it, the Holy Father, gave his message that he had not invited the cardinals only for the canonization, but it was also to tell them that, in the light of everything that is happening, the rapid changes and all of that, he doesn't think he's got the strength to go on, doing the very crucial pastoral work that he has to do. So this what is happening, and then I suppose it's got a bit of surprise, but it's got also that's not about a very humbling kind of experience that presented before all of us. But particularly for the Catholic Church, today being a feast, 11th of February, it's a feast dedicated to the apparition at Lourdes in France, right, which is giving rise to a very lively tradition of a lot of sick people, going to Lourdes, for cure, for healing and all of that. And for the Pope to have chosen a day like this to talk about his own weakness and his own physical, lack of physical strength to carry on, I think is very... I'm not sure whether anybody does aspire to become a Pope. We are cardinals, and effectively, and by the nature of canon law, any ordained bishop, can be chosen as a Pope. So I'm not sure about those cardinals aspiring to become popes. I'm not aware of those. They may well be, but I don't know if I can't tell. That is the thing. For me, the process of politicking and lobbying, that doesn't come up. I was at the last conclave which elected, Benedict XVI. I didn't see any lobbying, and at least nothing was brought to me like that. And I've no reason to believe that's again going back to basing the choice and election of Pope on statistics, where you have a lot of Catholics, so it doesn't go by representation, as it were. So where you have a lot of Catholics, then the Pope has to come from there. Those type of considerations tend sometimes to muddy the waters, although it may not be completely out of place to recognize and to consider, this in the but that I would not put that as a criterion, for the provenance of any Pope. All right. That the Pope comes from where the Church is growing fastest, and where the Church is not growing fastest, nobody can come from.
All right.
Because at the end of the day, the papacy is not a question of representation, but leadership of the Church also requires that people know about the Church, a little bit about its tradition. So a certain amount of thorough and deep knowledge of the Church is also necessary for the leadership of the Church. As for the thing of an African Pope, it's why not? Why not? The Church has had a very, very successful way of making everybody a bishop of Rome. And that just means that, a Pope is not just a Pope of the Universal Church, but is also the Bishop of Rome. And that's why every cardinal is given a church in Rome. Every cardinal, by the fact that he's given a titular church in Rome, is co-opted and made part of the clergy of Rome. And that just prepares him also to become the Bishop of Rome. I think that is a challenge of the gospel, to be able to transcend some of the, some of the impositions of culture, history, ethnicity, and all of that on us. And part of it is, a black person in a position of leadership. We've had it before. We have Kofi Annan from Ghana being the Secretary General of the United Nations. He had problems, but he still did it. And now it is, Obama of the United States. And if by divine providence, because the Church belongs to God, if God would wish to see a black man also as a Pope, thanks be to God.
Thank you.